All right, guys, we've got a special treat today. My new good friend, Mr. Greg Jones. Thank you for being down here.
Pleasure to be here.
Appreciate it. Mr. Greg's not new to teaching golf, but he's new this year to YouTube. One of the videos, Greg, that you did was on effortless power and not rushing the downswing that I thought was really, really good. I'd say there's kind of 4 little segments today. Each one we're going to put in order to help them, if you're watching this, stop rushing, make the downswing a lot easier. And when we talk rushing with the downswing, we both kind of looked at each other and said the same thing, which is it very clearly starts with one key piece.
Yes, absolutely. I think, most people who rush their downswing, the first thing you'll notice is they fail to complete their backswing.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't get fully developed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, one of the biggest textbook mistakes we see is they say that if you get your left shoulder to the ball, you've made a complete turn. Well, this right shoulder's got to get there.
Yeah.
And so, we'll see people sometimes just lift their arms and that right shoulder is blocking the completion of the backswing. And so I had a coach tell me one time, he said, well, what if you got your right shoulder to the ball and got it really wound up? Now my right shoulder's to the ball and I've completed the backswing. It's fully developed. And now you're not out of sequence. Yeah. Now you're not coming down too soon ahead of time. And so I think the first thing to fix the downswing, especially for somebody who rushes, is making sure you get this backswing completely developed.
And it's often overlooked,
yes.
Right? It's like once we said it out loud, she'd be like, yeah, no duh. But it's like, well, a lot of us overlook the fact that the rush of the downswing starts with the not completing the backswing. I really like that trail shoulder to the ball. We'll put some images on the screen of some golfers doing that as an indicator, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like I kind of visual that my shoulder is getting even with the ball instead of it just stopping right here and it's just an arm lift.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just an arm lift. And some people say backswing, and I kind of don't really like that word backswing so much. What if it was just a put back? I'm just going to put it back here.
Yeah.
And I think swing sometimes indicates like a dual motion up and down, and that's where you can get quick. So I kind of like the word put back, or the phrase put back.
I like that.
Let's just put it back here with a big right shoulder turn. And when you do that, the hips are going to follow, the knees are going to follow. It's fully developed. And it's pretty hard to get out of sequence from there.
And with the backswing, I know one of the things we both like is using a count, right?
Yes.
There's like a count, there's a rhythm, there's a ratio of backswing to downswing. And so as you're watching and you're trying this out to complete your turn, one of the easy ways to do this, Greg, how does that work with the 1, 2, 1 and 2?
Well, we know the swing is a 3-beat, and we know that from photography, and now we can put it to music with the Tour Tempo book and the app. But it's a 3-beat, and that 3-beat is 1 and 2, and that and I like the word and instead of 1, 2, 3, because you don't want to forget and. Don't forget and. It's and to complete the backswing. So 1 and 2. And so many times we see somebody with their rushing, or if they're really quick to get down, if you're watching or if you were listening and it was music, it would sound like 1, 2.
That's right.
1, 2. Yeah. And it's so out of sequence. And then what happens? You get jammed right here at impact. Probably going to stand up and early extend. Get a lot of hand flip. It just throws everything off.
Good.
But when you get this right shoulder all the way back, and I say the phrase fully developed frequently, get that backswing fully developed. And I myself kind of hear an imaginary click. I kind of hear an imaginary right up there.
Okay.
Just that one little snap. And I can kind of hear that in my head. Okay, it's fully developed.
Yeah.
And I kind of wait to hear that. I wait for that moment to get it there. So I had a coach a long time ago tell me, count to 1 at the top. What a great piece of advice. Like 1, there's that 1 beat right up here. So it's 1 and 2 and not 1, 2.
I like that. Really simple way to start. Next segment, we're going to talk about what do you do in the transition downswing, but we want to cover this first because if you don't complete your backswing, the next part's going to be a lot more difficult to do. Full backswing turn, give yourself a count 1 and 2. Let's talk next about the transition. Now, Greg, once we start the downswing, we've got the backswing fully loaded. We've got our little count in transition. Really the next phase to make sure we stop rushing and get less effort in our swings is what happens from the top in that like early part in transition. And I like the first drill we're going to talk about. I'll probably give them 2 drills here.
Yes.
But the first drill of letting that gravity come into play a little bit more.
It's a fall. It's a fall. And I think so many times golfers have this propensity to hit. And I get it. We're all athletes playing a ball and stick game, right? And everybody wants to hit. But we've got to be patient in that start of the downswing And it's just like your arms are just going to kind of fall down. I feel like they're just going to fall into my right knee or the right pocket. It's just a drop down.
Yeah.
It's not an intentional pull. It's not a go out and get it kind of move. And I think we see a lot of golfers, if they don't finish their backswing and they get a little bit quick, they're going to go out and then down.
Yeah.
And in the backswing, in the start of the downswing, we want to come down and then around. Well, you can't go around unless you get down first. So I like this idea of just letting the arms fall like that. And so, you know, I've got a quirky little drill that kind of works for that.
Yeah.
But this really works.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I'm just going to swing to the top and completely drop the club, let go of it. And when I do, my arms just naturally fall. And this is what it looks like. And see, they fall right down by that right knee.
Yeah.
That's just gravity. That's just falling. There's no pulling. There's no snatching. There's no hitting with the right side or the right shoulder. It's just a drop. And so I know that looks kind of weird and that's kind of quirky and quacky, but that will give you the feel. And then when you add the ball to that kind of a move, it really gives you that nice patient feel coming out of the top without rushing, without hitting, and not trying to be so hitty and strong with it. Just
Right.
let it happen. Let the swing gather speed, right?
Yeah.
And we've got to let this swing gather speed as we start down.
Drop, don't snatch. I like that. Super simple way to start. We'll quick pause and we're going to add a little drill here on for part 2. All right, guys, our spring 2-day golf schools are now live. If you're interested in coming to a 2-day golf school down here in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida at the Osprey Point Golf Course, we've got 2-day schools available February, March, April, and May. We had a great time with our schools up in PA. We're gonna have a great time this spring. The goal here is to have a 2-day immersive event to really give you everything you need to make a dramatic improvement in your golf game for this upcoming season. We've got 5 coaches with 8 students, super high coach to student ratio. Awesome 2 days together. We're gonna work on your full swing, your short game. We're gonna have lunch together, go out on the course together. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna absolutely love it. Would love to see you here. We'll put the link down below. Check out the dates, shoot us a message if you have any questions. Would love to work with you on your game. So really the next phase of this, Mr. Jones, is when I come down, I like to just add this drill in as a sort of next step of what we just mentioned. We've got the full backswing turn loaded. We're gonna add that little bit of a count at the top.
Right.
We wanna have a general sense of letting the arms and club fall, literally doing it as a drill.
Yeah.
And then how do we transfer that and get that into or closer to a real hit? I really like this one. In fact, we'll link a video at the end. I did this with a student, Pablo, that you'll see here on the screen as well. I like to set this up, Greg, where I've got 2 sticks in the ground. One's down my toe line. That would indicate about 3 o'clock. The ball's 12, and I've got a 4 o'clock stick. And the 4 o'clock stick, when you guys are doing this, full backswing up to the top, as I'm letting my arms fall, I actually like you to feel like you let the arms fall and get the club down to at least parallel to the ground.
I love that.
At least.
I love that. Yes.
And sometimes even, Greg, I'll let them kind of, even though this is a little exaggerated, let the club actually get all the way to the ground, just to feel what it feels like. Maybe in the beginning.
What I really like about what you're doing there is how close your hands get to your right knee. It's like you're putting that grip into your right knee or your right pocket. And now look where you are. You're in a great position to deliver it from the inside. And and then somebody that starts fast, they'll go out. They won't even hit that 3 o'clock. No, they're gonna hit 2 o'clock.
I like to say in some of these, Greg, it's like rushed from the top is fast and out.
Yes.
And effortless is patient and down.
It's that one beat.
Patient and down.
It's that one extra beat that's going to put you there. I love to stick on the ground at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Gives us a good little indicator. And as I'm doing this, I'm feeling very patient with the arms and hands. I'm feeling like my body's really staying closed. I'm kind of turning my body off, if we will, for this. I don't want to have a ton of chest and shoulder turn. That's a lot of rush and force.
No, I think there's a beautiful byproduct of you coming down at this 4 o'clock is how you're shifting into this left side, how that pressure is moving into that left side.
Arms and club are working from inside.
Yes.
And if I'm going to hit one with this, Greg, I'll just hit a little 8-iron here out here. As I'm feeling this, I'm going to make sure I get up to the top, feel my count, right? So I'll do one like that first. Up to the top, 1 and 2. Full backswing turn, 1 and 2. Just give myself a little bit of a second. That's a nice little 8-iron butter cut there, Scotty Scheffler.
How about you hit one and I'll count it for you?
Yeah, okay. 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
1 and 2. There
That was a
you
little
go.
better, huh? A little,
Boy, that one's flushed.
little longer at the top.
That one had a little more hit in it.
So it's
Beautiful
really
swing.
like you're really gathering yourself for a second. Let's do that one more time. That felt good. Because that was got a little more developed at the top.
A little more and.
Yeah, a little more and.
A little more of that second beat.
Let's do that again.
1 and 2. Boy, that's
Yeah.
hammered.
Yeah, I like those.
There's no rush there.
There's no rush there, and I like the finishing the backswing and that count, and then like, all right, if I'm in a good spot and I can keep it that simple and not think downswing, great, but if not, I've got a place to go to,
Yes.
right, which is okay, I'm here, and now I'm feeling my arms and hands very gently, very patiently getting down into that about 3 o'clock.
Okay. So you've got two senses at work here. You've got sound and sight.
Sound and sight.
Yeah, you got sound and sight. You're hearing the and seeing the 4 o'clock stick.
That's a good little combo. Let's break for a second and talk about the gears next. Okay, so we kind of got like a little master class on effortless power going here.
How about that? I love it. Yes.
So next part I love you talk about, Greg, is this gears concept. We've got the completed backswing. We've got that sort of cadence and rhythm down. We know we want to have the arms and hands feel real mellow and relaxed and really transition. But how do we know when we start to kick the speed in?
Yeah, this concept comes from the idea that we want the swing to gather speed. And it's not fast and slow and fast again. We want this swing to continuously gather speed, kind of like a 5-speed transmission. Did you ever drive a 5-speed? You know, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, right?
Right.
And so, you know, down here at the ball, as we start away, there's first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and then right down here after 4 is where we turn it on and hit that 5th gear, kind of like stomping the accelerator. That's where we're really going to hit it, right? And I think so many times we see people try to go from 3rd gear to turbo mode.
Yes, sir.
And then there's that out move. They're not going to hit this 4 o'clock stick. It's going to probably be steep, left, fat, who knows what. But it comes from the idea of gathering speed. And I kind of visualize the gears as I swing. And right down here at the bottom is where I'm going to turn it on.
Yeah. I think that's such a good visual, and we're going to show them in a minute kind of how to turn this into an easy drill for them to use when they're in the range session. But once you gather the backswing, you've got the cadence, you've got the arms kind of slow in transition, from hip high through the ball is when you feel like the speed's in, right?
Yes.
Now we've seen measurements and there's things that come up that says, hey, the hand speed's real fast at the top. That could be true on paper, but also simultaneously not what you should feel.
No.
We want to feel the speed down here through the ball.
I think it's a good idea if you ever want to like step on one or get a little extra out of it, you're going to get that extra down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like between the knees and between the feet. And when we see people go from here and try to really step on it from the top, all kind of bad things happen. So you remember a while ago when we were talking about the 3-beat. Well, this 3rd gear to 4th gear is the and. That's kind of like the 1 and. That's like 3rd gear, 4th gear.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's how that kind of ties together. But we want the swing to gather speed. And not be so hitty from the top.
All right, so let's put a bow on this bad boy, okay? We've got the concepts, backswing, complete the backswing, got the cadence gather, mellow in transition, add in speed, gear 5 through the ball. How do we put this into practice? We both like some form of what I would call like a leapfrog drill.
Yes.
Or something where I'm going to take these and learn how to be mellow in transition, add the speed at the bottom, have some sort of idea of how far the ball goes. And so really in ball 1, I've got an 8-iron here so you guys can see this. I almost want to hit, it's not the easiest thing to do, but almost want to hit like a full swing, maybe 100 yards.
Yes.
Right? Maybe 100 yards. So if I'm making my full back swing, some of these I might be a little shorter, but if I'm coming down and I'm real mellow in transition and only adding enough speed through the ball, let's even see if I can hit it a little shorter than that. I won't do a full backswing here, Greg, but I'm going to go real mellow in transition, just add a touch of speed at the bottom.
But there's no purposeful, it's not a purposeful add of speed. It's just the
Real
combination
little.
of everything coming together at the bottom.
Exactly. And that probably went out, what, maybe 80 yards, 75, 80 yards, I'd say, on that first one. Really slowing down and really mellow in this transition phase. But then eventually, I don't want to hit my 8-iron 80 yards when I go golf.
No, that's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
I want to hit it a little bit farther. Obviously, I'm going to let my backswing gather. which will help a lot of that. But if I am going to put a little bit more juice in, it's learning to put that juice, that speed at the bottom.
Do you remember back in the day when people used to raise their left heel a lot?
Sure.
You know, nobody does it anymore. I think Nick Faldo ruined that for a lot of us.
Yeah.
But, you know, they used to raise their left heel, and I used to until I was about 27 or 28. But when I would sit that left heel down, that became the accelerator.
Yeah, I like that.
And so that's like stomping the accelerator at the bottom. That's why I like,
like
if you're going to add that speed, it's right down there.
I like that. So I'm going to see if I can do the same thing here. Back, real mellow in transition, a little bit of speed through, and maybe add 20 yards at a time. See if I can hit this one maybe 100 to 110. Mellow in transition. A little bit more speed through the ball. That was probably pretty good if I do say so myself. About 100 there, Greg.
100.
And then maybe I'm going to get this one up to about 120. We'll notice my backswing will get a little bit more complete, and there'll be a little bit more of speed through the ball.
Yes.
That's probably in my 120.
But as I observe from this viewpoint, your third gear or your and beat hasn't changed.
Yeah, okay. Still same thing, a little bit at the bottom. That's probably pretty close to 140. Now, I hit this 160 full, so obviously for me to get close to that,
you gotta go.
Complete my backswing and let this thing go, but try and take those same feels. Complete the backswing. Really mellow in transition and the speed through the ball. Man, does that feel good. This whole point of this video is not rushing and adding effortless power.
That looks so effortless.
Yeah, thank you.
It doesn't even look like you're trying to hit it.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
Mr. Greg Jones, you can tell by the gray hairs, he gives it away. He's not new to teaching. He's been teaching for a long time. Great coach, new YouTube channel. We're going to link that down below. It'll be at the top there for Greg's channel. Do us a favor, go over there, subscribe to his channel, watch his videos. He's a great, great coach. This is video 1 of 3 or 4. So if you like this one, keep your eyes peeled. We got another one coming in a couple days. If you want to watch more like this, check out this video next.